Good evening. My name is Michael LANDON. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll tell you, this is about as far as I could get from the little house on the prairie. I'm in Doug Henning's world of magic, and I'm honored to be here to share with you an hour of the most remarkable illusions ever assembled for television. Now, what you'll be seeing tonight is being broadcast live at the very moment that it's happening. Due to the hazardous nature of some of the illusions Doug will be attempting for the first time anywhere this evening, elaborate safety precautions have been put into effect, but they in no way lessen the very real risk Doug is taking with his life. So whatever happens in the next 57 minutes, you will be an eyewitness too. I guarantee you there are no camera tricks, no manipulation of videotape, or any other electronic devices. Only a master of illusion working his magic to bring you a sense of wonder and a feeling that there is no limit to what is possible. Now, I want you to forget everything you ever thought about the reliability of your senses and prepare to be amazed. Ladies and gentlemen, the magic of Doug Henning. How are you, Doug?
Oh, it's great.
Hey, I'll tell you, Doug, when you make an entrance, you make an entrance.
Oh, the elephant's just a convenient way of getting on stage. I'm going to get rid of her in a moment.
Just how does one get rid of an elephant?
There are two ways to get rid of an elephant. Either you ask her very politely to leave, or you make her vanish.
Do I have to ask which one you've chosen?
The easy way, of course, I'm going to make her vanish right before your eyes. She'll be standing on a red cloth that the dancers just showed you to show that there's no trapdoors in the stage. It'll be 20 feet from all curtains, and the camera will show you both sides of the box as well as the back.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to bet on the elephant.
Suit yourself. Come on, Taj, this is it. Steady, girl. Steady. Now, ladies and gentlemen, something you'll never forget. In a few moments, you will see the elephant gone now!
Doug Henning's World of Magic. Doug's guest host, Michael LANDON. With a special guest appearance by Joey Heatherton. Featuring Ricky Jay. Production conceived by Doug Henning. Written by Buzz Cohen. Produced and directed by Walter C. Miller.
Thank you. Tonight, Doug Henning will be doing incredible illusions dealing with three of the basic elements: air, water, and fire. Now, you'll see our handheld cameras moving behind the action to prove that there are no electronic camera tricks. Later on in the evening, he will tempt the fates beyond the point of rationality by placing himself in a container with no means of escape and setting that container completely and irreversibly on fire. But before he attempts that frightening feat, Doug thought it'd be a good idea to do a little warm-up first. Doug, it's nice to be back from wherever I was.
You didn't happen to see an elephant out there, did you?
Hey, no, don't tell me you can't find the elephant.
Well, I didn't lose her. I just kind of misplaced her.
Oh, sure. Anybody can make an elephant disappear. The real trick is bringing her back.
Well, that really would be something.
It sure would, but that's impossible.
Don't you know that nothing's impossible? Your problem, Michael, is that your mind is too restricted by what you think reality is. When we do magic, we manipulate reality to create illusion. And when we do that, we make the impossible possible. Look, if I was to take something that was impassable, and I was to pass something right through it, it would no longer be impassable, would it?
No, but I don't think it's possible to make something impassable passable.
It's possible, it's passable.
Doug, if it's passable, it's impossible for it to be impassable.
Look, why argue? Let me demonstrate. Adele is bringing over something very real and very fragile. A balloon. And its natural enemy. A long, sharp steel needle. Everyone knows in reality what happens when you try to pass a needle through a balloon. But in the world of magic, nothing is impossible or impassable. Watch.
It's passable and possible.
Well, thank you.
Now have him bring the elephant back.
Do you forget the elephant?
An elephant never forgets, and neither do I. Doug, I think you're at the end of your rope.
A good magician's never at the end of his rope, fellas. Thank you. This is an ordinary clothesline rope. Michael, I'm going to go in the audience and get a volunteer. And I'm going to show you that seeing is not always believing. Somebody like to help me, please. A young lady. Would you like to help me, please? Hi. What's your name?
Christina.
Hi, Christina. Come on up on stage. Thank you. Having fun tonight? So am I. Come on up and meet Michael Landon. Michael, this is Christina.
Hi, Christina. How are you? Nice to see you.
Christina, I'd like you to examine the rope and make sure it's exactly the kind of thing I said it was. Just an ordinary clothesline rope. Look all right? Good. Take the scissors, please, and cut the rope right about there. Now, I'd like you to take the ends of the rope and tie them into a knot, okay? Take a lot of ends so there's some hanging over, okay? That's good. Just tie a good solid knot. Now, as Christina's tying this knot, she's forming certain expectations about the way the knot behaves. She's forming certain beliefs. Tie another one, okay? Just to make sure. Great. You happy with that knot? Good and tight? Thank you. Come on down and stand at this end of the rope. Keep one eye on the rope, one eye on the knot, and the other eye on me, okay? I'm now going to shatter all your beliefs about what you think this knot is. Watch. Now! Good, untie the knot. Thank you very much for helping. Thank you.
I think that last illusion is spectacular. So do I. I'm standing right there all the time, and I do not know how he did it. Now, we've seen a little bit of what Doug does with fire, and as I said earlier, he'll soon risk his life against that element. And don't forget, this is all being done without the aid of any camera tricks. But now we're going to see, or think we see, what Doug can do with air. You wouldn't think air was a very promising medium for illusion. It's so commonplace. It's all around us. We breathe it, we pollute it, we inflate things with it. But Doug treats air as an element of wonder. Now, I realize that Doug's a heavyweight when it comes to magic and a featherweight when it comes to actual size. But even I never thought that Doug was actually lighter than air. Apparently he is.
magic dust.
You got your dust?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Joy. I'm so glad he made you appear.
I'm sure glad I'm sure glad I'm here.
He is remarkable, isn't he? Did he tell you what he's going to do near the end of the show?
Oh, you mean where he closes himself inside that container, and then he has someone set it on fire and right in front of this audience?
That's the one.
Yeah, I really think that's rather dangerous. I'm not sure
There's something I want to ask you, though.
Yeah.
That's going to come later. Right now, I want to find out. Don't give away any confidences, but I really want to know where you came from.
Well, I was born in New York City, and then my folks moved to Rockville Center.
Joey, that's not what I mean, dear. What I mean is, where'd you come from just now?
Oh, you mean when Doug made me materialize out of that great big silver ball?
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
You really want to know, huh? How do you think he did it?
Well, I think what he did was he probably, I used to know a lot about this. So I don't know how to...
Yeah, that's really good.
I haven't the slightest idea.
Well, I'm going to let you in on a very big secret.
I won't tell a soul.
You want to know how Doug did it, right?
More than anything.
More than anything. Well, I haven't the slightest idea.
Oh, now, come on. You were standing right there.
Well, you were standing right here when he made that elephant disappear. Will you please tell me how he did it?
How the heck do I know? If I knew that, this would be Michael Landon's world of magic, and you'd be out here chatting with Doug while I change.
I think Doug's ready. You know, he's done his change, and it's time for me to disappear.
Hey, you're going to disappear?
Yeah.
I love it. How are you going to do it? How do you do that?
Well, you just have to close your eyes and count to 10.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How did you do that? There he is.
Hi, Michael.
How you doing?
Terrific. I'm glad you're able to amuse myself in my absence. Yourself in my absence, yes.
Hey, what do you have here?
Oh, these are the famous silver rings. One of the oldest and most beautiful illusions in magic.
Looks like a wedding ring for an elephant.
You never give up, do you? Look, I'm going to go get a volunteer from the audience and show you truly one of the most beautiful illusions in magic.
All right.
Here
I'll go find the elephant.
Somebody like to help me. I need a small... Hi, would you like to help me? How are you? Come on right upstage. What's your name? Genji. Hi, Genji. Turn around. Let's have a big smile. Terrific. That's a beautiful dress.
Thank you.
I'd like you to watch the mystery of the silver rings. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bands of silver. Genji, these are completely solid, unbroken rings. There are no breaks or gaps, whatever in the rings. Watch. Solid, right through solid. In fact, these rings melt one right through another, like rings of smoke. Could you hold on to that ring, please? Look all right? Good. Hold it very tightly, just like that, okay? Again, we're going to make solid go right through solid, very closely for you. Watch. You'll hear it go right through. Did you feel that? Now, Genji, you'll notice there are no holes in the rings except the hole right through the center, correct? So naturally, to get the rings apart, I just reach through the center and pull like that. Makes sense, doesn't it? Good. I will now attempt to link 3 rings in midair. Here we go. Here we go. Have you been watching closely? Good. Would you like to take those rings apart just like I put them together? And while you're doing that, yeah, just take them apart, okay? I'm going to make a chain of 3 the hard way, one at a time. How are you doing? Her technique's right, but her timing's a little bit off. Genji, I'll show you how to do it. We each have a chain of 3. Hold your rings just like I'm holding mine, with your hands right where they come together. One hand there, and one hand there. Okay, now put one foot in front of the other, because we're going to do this in style, okay? Here we go. Now fold one of them in like that. Fold it in. Great. Now bring it out and blow. It comes right apart. Now after you get that one apart, maybe you'll have more luck with my rings. Here, hold those 2 just like that. Blow right there, Genji, okay? Move them apart very slowly. She did it! Woo! Terrific. You keep those in practice for a minute, okay? Watch this ring from the bottom right up to the top. Watch this. From the bottom, right up to the top. Just below right there. You've got it. In slow motion, very closely so you can watch. From the top, right down to the bottom. The Chinese, who first invented this beautiful illusion, found that they could make many beautiful patterns with the rings. In fact, these 4 rings are now linked in 8 separate places. Did you find this one good and solid? Say yes. Yeah. Good. Then it should be impossible to take this ring right down to the bottom. That's 5. And the last ring, right in the middle? Good. The mystery of the silver ring. Thank you very much for helping, gentlemen. Thank you. Woo. If there's one name that says magic for most people, that name would have to be Harry Houdini. He's been an idol of mine ever since I was a child. No, I never had the honor of meeting him personally. I've done a great deal of research on his life and career for a biography that I've been writing. The more I read, the more convinced I became that he was a real master. Like a Rudolf Nureyev or a Nadia Comaneci, his technique was electrifying and flawless. Of all of Houdini's illusions, my personal favorite is the one that he called metamorphosis. Houdini performed this illusion countless times around the turn of the century, and he became so proficient at it that he was able to complete the exchange of 2 bodies in a locked chain box in a little under 3 seconds. I'm now going to try to duplicate this incredible illusion with a little bit of a twist. We're going to use our ground cloth again and a revealing angle from our handheld camera. Now the fastest illusion in the world, Houdini's metamorphosis. I need another volunteer from the audience. Who'd like to, sir, would you like to help me? Thank you very much. Hi, how are you tonight? Run up here with me, okay? There we go. You'll miss metamorphosis. 1, 2,
3, it's me!
That was unbelievable. Unbelievable. In case the audience didn't notice, you also had time to change your clothes. What took you so long?
I stopped off to feed the elephant.
I noticed you didn't bring her back.
I was afraid you'd notice that.
I've got a keen eye.
But I did bring somebody with me I'm really sure you're going to enjoy. He'll be listed in the Guinness Book of World Records for throwing a playing card further than anybody else outdoors. I'd like you to meet my friend and fellow illusionist, the remarkable Ricky J.
Michael?
Don't let his appearance scare you. He's really a nice guy.
I've heard. Well, let me ask you something, Ricky. Is it really true what they say? Is it really true what they say? You actually throw a playing card further than anyone else in the world?
Yes, that is true. I had the pleasure of setting the new world's record in London for the BBC just a few weeks ago. It's quite a thrill.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Could you demonstrate how you do that here in the studio?
Well, it's either that or playing the bells of St. Mary's on my cufflinks.
Picked my favorite, didn't you?
Yes. All right, I'll be glad to throw a card out there. Let me step forward. You people in the back rows, please duck and don't try to sue me. I'm not a wealthy man. There's one all the way into the wind current. Another one to the... Woo! One for the Gipper!
All right. Very, very impressive. Very impressive, but like the man said, you ain't seen nothing yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky J.
Thank you, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, it's possible to do a number of unusual and genuinely clever things with playing cards. In addition, it's possible to throw the card out into the air and have it come back to the hand, a simulacrum of the Australian boomerang. Thank you. It's also possible to throw a card in the air and cut it in half on its return with a pair of giant scissors. If anyone has a pair of giant scissors, I'll be glad to demonstrate. Does anyone have a pair of giant scissors? I do. Here's the way this works. One can take a card, throw it into the air, have it come back, and cut it neatly in half. A pair of giant scissors. Well on my way to the luckiest night of my life. By the way, for those of you who are asking about self-defense, if you're ever attacked by a pair of giant scissors, it's possible to throw a card at them, disabling them completely. I have recently written a book entitled Cards as Weapons, a study of self-defense with the ordinary playing card. It'll be out in a few months, and in it I deal with very important chapters, self-defense for geriatrics. As you well know, all old people play gin rummy. Also, I deal with self-defense against plastics. In Chapter 3, if you're attacked by a chicken which runs amok, first find it. I have one over here. Next, fire at the chicken. This disables it completely. If you're attacked by a band of animals or an animal band, fire and keep dancing. Dance, you devils, dance. Keep moving. Move, go for it. Move, move. God, hey, let's go. Dance, you devils, dance. Fire. One for the Gipper. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to continue in this vein, but unfortunately, the recent anti-levity laws make this impossible. Consequently, I'll be doing a serious card trick, simulating the skill of real magicians. Notice as I cut and shuffle the cards, certain of them spring forward. These just happen to be the 4 queens, once again proving this is indeed the luckiest night of my life. Thank you. Now I'm going to do my imitation of a European doing the exact same effect. Please watch the 4 queens as I take them and cut them into the deck, and now proceed to cut them out of the deck. A bold subterfuge. Watch the first queen, which has come out of the deck, face up, going back for number 2, an old Meters tune, Just Kiss My Baby, going back for number 2. Number 3, and by the way, notice if I were European, how much nicer this effect would look in a frilly shirt and with a bow tie. That's all 4. Thank you. And now, risking this streak of good fortune, I'll continue and do my imitation of this same trick as if it were done by a magician 100 years ago, with your kind attention. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall endeavor to illustrate with the aid of this ordinary deck of playing cards to show how futile are the attempts of plebeians to enter that select circle of society known as the beau monde. And indeed to show how such entree is prevented by the polite yet frigid exclusiveness of its gentler members. Let us assume it is the occasion of a public reception, our table the hall, our deck the common herd, and we may fittingly select the four queens as representing the feminine portion of the smart set. Now, as would naturally be the case, I shall besiege these high-strung patrician ladies with attentions from the lower orders, which these next 12 cards shall represent. I shall start by placing 1, 2, 3 outsiders on Her Majesty the Queen of Hearts, the next 3 commoners on the Queen of Clubs, and though the notice or mention of all these commoners is equally abhorrent to the grandes dames, I shall treat them exactly alike by placing on the Queen of Diamonds 1, 2, 3 rank outsiders. And finally, the last 3, which have been closest to the bottom, therefore least crowding and in most ways most deserving to proffer their homage on the Queen of Spades. Ladies and gentlemen, as you have seen, I have brutally taken advantage of these tenderly nurtured and unsophisticated young creatures by placing them in positions which must be extremely galling to their aristocratic sensibilities. Can they endure? Can they endure? Yes, indeed they can! Having some knowledge of the marvelous subtlety, resources, and finesse of the sex, I feel confident these women can, with tact and discretion, easily elude their persecutors and form a more congenial coterie amongst themselves. Watch very closely. Watch first the Queen of Spades as she turns her back on her suitors, and then she goes to Windsor for the weekend. Next, the Queen of Diamonds, slightly more daring than her friends, tantalizes the men, Gucci, Gucci, goo. And amidst their flushed consternation, makes her escape. The Queen of Clubs, knowing the aphorism, 'tis easiest to disappear from the crowd, does just that. Now you see her, and now, ladies and gentlemen, you do not. And finally, the Queen of Hearts, or, as I suggested only a moment ago, is it possible these women would seek out each other's company? Yes, indeed. The fatal vanity of the sex proves me correct. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Thank you very much.
That we're going to be dealing with the 3 elements of fire, air, and water.
That's correct, right.
Well, I thought we'd create a bit of water magic now. Could you hold out your hand a little bit, please?
Sure.
Watch. I'll take that. Thank you. Follow me.
While Doug is mentally preparing himself for the flaming miracle, I would like to demonstrate to you why I am known in many circles as the great LANDON. Now, this is a fantastic trick to do at cocktail parties. You'll thrill him if it's really an incredibly dull cocktail party. Just take a napkin and shred it up. Just tear it up into little pieces, roll it into a tight ball, like so. Take it like this, reach into your pocket, get your coin. You don't have a coin, use an olive, tap it 3 times. And, of course, voila, as it is in the magic world, the napkin's whole again. Nothing. They'll love you for it. Let me show you how to do it. When you go to the party, go into a closet where it's dark and roll it up into a ball. You put it in your hand like this and you stroll into the party. No one will ever know. You see a friend, give him a wave. Don't do this. Now, when the time comes, you just take a napkin, shred it, roll it up into a ball like so. Squeeze it tight. Like this. Now, when you reach for the coin, you make a big thing out of it. While you're doing that, you are switching napkins. Coin is meaningless, obviously. Money's not worth a thing anymore. Now you unroll the napkin, and there you have it. The only problem that I have is that Doug has never told me what to do with the pieces that I have left in my hand.
Michael, you're never supposed to show the audience these pieces because they'll say, if you're a real magician, why do you restore these?
Well, I can't. I've ripped them up.
Yeah, everyone knows it's impossible. Bye.
Bye. All right. Now we come to the moment that I've been looking forward to and dreading all evening. The amazing and dangerous flaming miracle. We have firefighting apparatus standing by, but the danger to Doug is both immediate and possibly devastating. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Henning in Flaming Miracle. Without any protective garment of any kind, Doug will place himself in that cylinder, which is encased in highly inflammable paper. The cylinder and the heat inside will reach a minimum of 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Enough heat to melt copper and tin. So you can imagine what it can do to the human body.
Well, thank you. Ha.
Yeah.
I hope I've convinced you that nothing's impossible by now.
Well, almost. First of all, I'm delighted to see you're back in one piece. You're not charred around the edges, and there's one thing you haven't done tonight, but after all the super things, I hate to even bring it up.
It's the elephant, isn't it?
Now that you brought it up, yes, it's the elephant.
Would you believe that nothing's impossible? If I was to produce the elephant right now?
Doug, that would be even more impressive than my napkin trick.
I doubt it, but here goes anyway. Remember, I said that nothing's impossible. I just hope the elephant has as much faith as I have. Beautiful Joy Heatherton, and the fantastic Michael Landon for helping me make this a magical evening. I hope that I've convinced you that anything that the mind can conceive of is possible. Nothing is impossible. All you have to do is look within, and you can realize your fondest dreams. I'd like to wish each one of you all of life's wonders and a joyful age of enlightenment.